thrashings, fighting. Oh my. Bad luck. What are we in for? Welcome to another episode of Ghosts, Myths and Legends, Christmas edition. Hello my spooky crew, how are you all doing? It is the middle part of December, the countdown is on. We are nearly there, it's near the end of the holidays. I'm so darn excited and so darn happy. I might be slightly off centre, I don't know. But you know, Christmas tree background, it's always a good thing. As long as you can see me. Anywho, this obviously is a Christmas sort of legends and traditions kind of video today. A bit different than what I do, but hopefully this gives you a clue. So without further ado, are you sitting comfortably? Shall we begin? Our tale is all about the holly and its associations with Christmas. The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. Before we started bringing in our, this is a Nordman, but you know, Norway spruces and those kinds of pine Christmas trees, what we thought of in the past as Christmas trees was our holly tree. And that's what we would bring inside and have boughs of, and people still do prefer holly over Christmas trees. And the connotations of this still survive to this day. In Chiltern there is a place that is filled with holly trees. Holly trees grow there abundantly, and it is called Christmas Common. Now, our beautiful holly is one of the only trees where they do not have male and female parts on them. They need a male and a female bush. The females are the ones that have the berries, obviously. They need a male bush around them to make those berries. Holly is very lucky, but it can also be very unlucky. It's a sharp, prickly, double-edged sword. So, our beautiful holly is lucky and it is everlasting, it's evergreen, it's quite impenetrable to diseases and insects because it's so thick and prickly. The higher up you get, the less prickly the leaves are, the thicker ones down the bottom to stop animals grazing on it, so keeping itself protected. It has also been found, and it is believed to have been this as well for centuries, the Celts and Druids and the Norse associate it with thunder and with Odin and Thor and all things like that, because the way that their little spiky spines are placed on the leaves, they are mini little lightning conductors. So if you have them planted around, objects near them, plants around them are safe from lightning strikes. See? Wonderful. Now, legend goes that they're kept in hedgerows because, well, practical people say that it's a guideline for the farmers when they're ploughing. Other parts of the legend say it's because the witches on a nicely trimmed hedge like to go hop in and skip in and jumping along, but they can't get past a holly. And the same go with a lot of other evil spirits and bad things. They all get caught up in the prickles and they can't escape. So it's a very strong plant to be having. And also, if you did cut out or gub out a holly from your hedge, then a witch would appear there instead, which nobody's wanting. It's always the witches getting a bad rap. But you know, nobody wants to be getting that to happen. There's also the side that you risk heartache and illness and lots of bad juju if you cut down or dig out a holly tree. I'm always trying to tell my hubby this. He's always like, I'm going to cut this honey. It's annoying. Yeah, and I'm like, it's bad luck. You shouldn't ever do that. You know, it's long written that it's bad luck. He thinks I'm very superstitious, and bad luck comes from being superstitious. But it's something that I don't want to meddle with, and I don't, you know. But anyway, which is why they say that if you bring holly into your home before Christmas Eve, which is something that I always make sure it's on Christmas Eve, if you do it before, you will end up with big family quarrels and fights. And I'm not talking because you brought holly in the wrong time or the usual. It would be, yeah, this has caused this big family. One Celtic legend about holly that I really love is that there are two twin brothers, and they're opposing sides all the time. They're opposites, and one is the Holly King and one is the Oak King. And the Holly King is this giant of a man, and he wears green, and he has a crown of holly and a club made of hollywood, and he makes me think a bit like either the Green Man or the Ghost of Christmas Present, especially in the Muppets Christmas Carol, but that sort of feel about him. And him and his brother would fight, and they would start fighting in the autumn. And when winter solstice when the winter solstice came, the Holly King would win, and he would bring with him the winter, and he would rule over the land until they would start fighting again for the summer solstice, in which the Oak King would rule until it all started all over again. Now, Celtic chieftains would wear holly wreaths or crowns of holly because they believed it gave them good luck. Newborn babies were bathed in the water with holly leaves to protect them from any harm. But why is it that we bring them in and we associate it so much with Christmas? Well, as with a lot of things, Christianity adopted and took a lot of Druid, Celtic, pagan ideas to meld in so that people wouldn't have such a hard time, I suppose, assimilating into that culture instead of their own. And the holly came to represent the sharp prickly leaves, became like known as the thorns that Jesus would wear. The green is everlasting, eternal, like Christ. The berries are red, like, you know, the Christ blood on his crucifixion. It's sort of taken on, like the poinsettia became linked with Christ. But as I said, this goes far further back than Christianity. It's a very Celtic, Druid, pagan thing. You know, the Celts believed that the holly was a symbol of peace and goodwill. You know, they liked it inside. It's dark, glossy leaves and shiny berries reflect light, so helping bring in some joy during those dark winter months. The Irish call the holly the gentle tree, and they believe that it's the fairies' favourite tree. Druids believe that fairies live in holly trees and that they also protect and ward off evil spirits and bad luck. So they would bring boughs of holly and sprigs of holly, etc., inside their homes in the winter months to provide shelter from the cold for the fairies that live inside. And in return, the fairy folk would be kind to the people in the dwelling that brought them in and would help protect them from any house goblins or anything that might be trying to do some oody bad stuff to you. In Old England as well, old married women would put sprigs of holly tied to their bed, and it would of course protect them more so in the winter months from the evil spirits that seem more proliferant. There was a lot of in the winter months. mainly because of like the roaring winter winds and the heavy storms, and it sort of brought them all out. And when Christianity was sort of coming more into being, was taking over, it was banned from being inside people's houses. Now, it was a hard thing for people to not have, so they got smart, and that's why we sort of have the wreaths of holly, because they were like, all right, well, we're going to make our charms, we won't have them inside because you've told us off, but we're going to have them outside, and it's still protecting our home, and then people can't, the evil can't get in because it's on the door or it's outside, until obviously Christianity took over and was like, oh yeah, these are right, these are wreaths, and they're representing Christ, and all that jazz. Now, just as bringing in holly has got a set time and you must respect it, you always have to ask the holly before you start cutting bits off. Now, as long as you don't cut them down, people would obviously, you can use their wood for lots of things. It's a very strong wood. Walking sticks are made from it. A lot of magic wands. Harry Potter's wand is made from Hollywood. Things like that, obviously decorations, but you must never cut them fully down or dig them out, and you must always ask. But as much as that part is important, how you deal with them after you've got them in and after the holiday season is just as important. Now, there are a few different ways and traditions at different places around the UK and that have. In Yorkshire, a leaf from the decoration would be placed in every room of the house. In Lanarkshire, if a holly leaf fell from the decoration, it was not to go on the fire. Hampshire, holly used as decorations would be burnt in the garden afterwards for continuous good luck all year. And in Shropshire, a sprig of holly from your holly decoration was kept up until Shrove Tuesday, and then it would be placed in the fire, over which the first pancake would be cooked. Now, stepping away from the Christmas bit for a second, because we're nearly finished, and that is mainly why we bring them in, because it's for all the winter months, the protection, the guarding, the joy, and it's a long old tradition that has got tied up with Christianity along the way, and so we bring them in. But did you also know that holly has believed to be, for a long many centuries, a cure for chilblains? Now, in Wales, they say you could prick your feet, well, prick the chilblains with them and sand the snow. Other places say you ground up the berries and rub them in. And I don't know if it is a West Country thing, but it's certainly something that my mum knows and has been taught, so it could be a West Country thing, is thrashing. You would thrash said feet or hands wherever your chilblains were, and this is supposed to help get rid of chilblains. Now, I used to have a lot of chilblains. I think it's partly because I've got fibromyalgia and you get Raynaud's with it, and Raynaud's can lead to chilblains and things like that, and I used to get them bad. And I remember telling my mum, and I think I was sitting in front of a fire at the time, and she made me take my socks off, and we had holly. And she was like, oh, this gets rid of chilblains, and she starts whacking the shit out of my feet. And as you can imagine, it bloody hurts. Really, really bad. Oh my lord, the pain. And to this day, I cannot tell you if it cured my chilblains, because all I remember is how bad having my feet whacked with chilblains hurts. And I'll leave you on that little merry note. So, if you like this video, please subscribe so you can catch up on all my crazy antics, all my little stories and little antidotes. It helps a girl out and it means a lot. Thank you to everyone who watches my videos and gives them a like. I will be back soon with more Christmas tales and happy jolly stuff. Remember to take 5 minutes out of your day for you. Take a deep centering breath. 5 minutes just to look out of the window if you can. Have a brew, something stronger if you're able to, if you want to. Soft drink if that's your bag of tea. You are worthy, you're important, you're valued, you're needed. And thank you for spending some of your time that you have watching me and hanging out with me. until the next time, take care, be good. If you can't be good, be careful. And as always, I will see you on the flip side and be back very, very soon. If you liked it, thumbs up, ding-a-ling, subscribe, all that jazzy me jazz. Goodbye, my lovelies.